So today we are going to read 20th October 75 Murli. Title of the Murli is Experiencing All Types of Happiness of the Confluence Age by Observing Precautions. Experiencing all types of happiness of the confluence age by observing precautions. Do you consider yourself to be Master Almighty authorities? To what extent have you put into your practical form the authority of all powers, of all knowledge, of ruling the self and of ruling the world that you have received from the Father? There are many self-checking points. Baba is asking us, do we consider ourselves to be Master Almighty authorities, and to what extent we have put into our practical form the authorities of the powers, the knowledge of ruling the self and ruling the world that we have received from the Father. Does this spiritual intoxication constantly stain your intellects? Do you check how much the authority you have to rule over the self remains with you in a practical way throughout the day? So these are things we need to check for ourselves. So Baba is asking, do we check how much the authority we have to rule over the self remains with us in a practical way throughout the day? To what extent do you have a powerful form with the authorities of knowledge? To what extent do you experience in a practical way the authority of all powers you have received to become a conqueror of Maya and a conqueror of matter? Do you experience the authority to be able to see in a successful way a particular power working in the way that you want it to? The unlimited Father makes all the children almighty authorities the same as himself. And so, have you become equal to the Father? Do you know how to check to what extent you have become this? So there are many questions from Baba and points to check for ourselves. Baba is here to make us same as him. So Baba is checking in a different ways that have we become equal to him, and what extent, or do we know how to become equal to him? So while having a heart-to-heart conversation with Bab Dada, some children repeatedly say, we do check ourselves, but we are unable to change ourselves. What's the result which came from the children? That they are saying to Baba that, Baba, we can check ourselves, but we are unable to change ourselves. We know, we accept, and we think, but we are unable to do it. So there is a realization power that we need to change, but there is not that much power to change it, to transform it to the right. So we know, we accept, and we think, but we are unable to do it. We do use the right method, but we are unable to attain success. What should we do for that? Although we are applying the right methods to change ourselves, but still the result is we are unable to change. So what should we do for that? The reason for that is a small mistake which takes you into a mess. So Baba is letting us know what mistake we are doing. What is that? No matter how good some medicine may be, and you may be taking the correct dose, but if you even take something that you are forbidden to take, or you do not take something that you are supposed to, then you are unable to liberate yourself from the illness. So Baba is giving us example and explaining us. If some medicine is given to us and doctor has asked us to take the right correct dose, and accordingly we are taking it, right? Whatever we are supposed to take, we are taking it, and whatever we are not supposed to take, we are not taking it. So we are doing all those things. But Baba is saying, you are still unable to, if you do reverse, then we are unable to liberate ourselves from the illness. Similarly, here too, you take the medicine of knowledge. Knowledge is a medicine. So we are taking the medicine of knowledge. That is, you churn the knowledge in your intellect's thinking, this is correct or this is incorrect, or I should do this or I mustn't do this. This is wrong and this is right. This is victory and this is defeat. You do have this understanding in your intellects. That is, you are taking the right dose according to the time. You do have a heart-to-heart conversation. You do attend classes. You do service and you take all the doses. Whatever is our Srimad, we are following, try to following all the Srimad accurately, right? So, however, the first precaution or the first code of conduct is to belong to the one Father and none other. Baba is saying you are taking medicines in a right manner, on the right time, but as the doctor tells us that you have to take the medicine, but at the same time you have to follow some precautions. But if you don't take care of the precautions, even the medicines won't work perfectly for us. Similarly, Baba is telling us, although you are doing everything in a right manner according to Srimad, but if we are not following the precautions, then there will not be the right result. So, however, the first precaution or the first code of conduct is to belong to the one Father and none other. You have to remain powerful in this awareness. You do not observe this main precaution constantly, but you deceive yourself instead and think, I belong to Shiv Baba anyway. Who else is mine? So we are in a belief system that yes, I am in love with Baba. Baba is the only my whole and soul. But Baba is asking, sometimes you forget this. So instead of thinking, Baba, I'm only belong to Baba, sometimes we belong to someone else also. So who else is mine? We say to Baba. However, you should be such an embodiment of remembrance in a practical way that apart from the one Father, no other person or object, relationship or connection or any facility enters your awareness, even in your thoughts. This is the strongest, that is the main precaution. So what care we have to take that other than Baba, none of the person or the object or the relationship or the connection or any facility that we have, so none should enter in our thoughts. This is the strongest, that is the main precaution. Because of being careless in observing this precaution, because of following the dictates of your own mind, because of the influence of the atmosphere, or because of the influence of the company, you are unable to remain an embodiment of remembrance at all times. So this is the first reason Baba told us that why we are not able to change ourselves, although we are following Srimad. So we are not following the precautions. And the first precaution which Baba mentioned, that belong to one Father and none other. So that's a subtle checking we need to do. You are unable to pay as much as attention as you should. You pay full attention for a temporary period, then full gradually diminishes until there is just attention remaining. Then after that, attention changes into many types of tension. So Baba say at initial level, there is a lot of attention, but slowly, this attention changes to tension. Under the influence of the situations and test, attention changes into some form of tension. Because of this, as your awareness changes, so your power also changes. Instead of being an almighty authority, because of you're being under the influence of Maya, the mantra that disciplines the mind because disciplines the mind does not work. That is, the right method is unable to grant you success. Then you cry out, even though I want to, why does it not happen? So you need to observe the main precaution of paying constant attention to this one thing. Which one thing Baba said? Just check all the time or have the attention that I just belong to one Father and none other. None of the attraction should attract my mind. Now, Baba is talking about the second precaution. The Father has given you the right to become your own master or of becoming a creator. But instead of being the creator, you consider yourself to be a creation, that is, a body. When you forget you are being a creator, Maya, that is body consciousness, then becomes a creator of you. The creator, that is, it then has a right. No one can have a right over the creator. No one can become a master of the world. You become the creation in front of Maya and you thereby become dependent. The reason for this is that you do not constantly observe the precaution of being an embodiment of the awareness of having all rights and being master. So what is the second mistake we do? We consider ourselves a creation, that's the body, and not the creator, that's the soul. So the consciousness changes. Instead of being soul conscious, we become body conscious. And because of that, we are not able to get the success. So Baba is telling us, so consider yourself a creator, not a creation, a master, not a slave. So Baba is saying, so check this second precaution as well. Now, the third precaution. Though the Father, everyone has to remain a trustee. Through the Father, everyone has to remain a trustee. You are trustees of your bodies. You are trustees of your minds, that is, of your thoughts. You are also trustees of the worldly and spiritual households you have been given. So the third attention, the third precaution, to consider ourselves trustee. Trustee of our own body, trustee of our own mind, and trustee of wherever we are staying, the household things. However, instead of being trustees, you become householders. You make a model of the bad condition of a household. What model do you make? It is of being pulled in all directions. How the householder is shown. The householder is pulled by many things. So he get pulled by many responsibilities or many bondages. So Baba is asking us to become a trustee, not a householder. Trustee is free from all the bondages. The other model of a householder is shown in the form of a donkey. Many types of burden have been shown. You create such models, do you not? When you become householders, there are many types of burden of the consciousness of mind. The most royal form of burden is, this is my responsibility. I will definitely have to fulfill that. If there isn't any other type of household activity, then under the influence of your own physical senses, there are many household activities of wasting your time in the sweetness of many other things. So Baba is telling us the difference between a trustee and a householder. Householder always carries some burden and he has always in his consciousness that this is my responsibility and I have to fulfill that. If there isn't any other type of household activity, if there is no such responsibility, then under the influence of your own physical senses, there are many household activities of wasting your time in the sweetness of many other things. So what is the other thing what we do other than responsibilities? That we waste our quality time. We waste our valuable time at confluence edge. So that is also not becoming a trustee. Today, You waste your time under the influence of the sweetness of your ears, listening to wasteful things. Tomorrow, you will waste your time under the influence of your tongue. Because of being trapped in such activities, you forget that you are a trustee. Even this body is not mine. I am a trustee of even this body. So, without the master, a trustee cannot use anything for the self. Without the master, a trustee cannot use anything for the self. To become intoxicated in the sweetness of the physical senses would also be said to have become a householder and not a trustee. So, become dependent on any of the physical senses. Baba is saying, then you become a householder, no more trustee. You, as a trustee of the highest on high master, have the Srimad of saying, you as a trustee of the highest on high master, have the Srimad of staying in a constant and stable stage in the sweetness of the one. Through those physical senses, you have to experience the sweetness of only the one. So, why do you then taste the different forms of sweetness through the many physical senses? You become householders in the worldly and the spiritual households. And this is why the Father gives you the direction to hand over to Him the many things of burden. You carry that burden on yourself unnecessarily. And then, when you wish to fly, how can you fly? This is why you say that you know, you accept, and you think about it, but that you are unable to do it. Because you miss out this precaution. Even though you follow the methods, you are unable to gain success. So, the third reason which Baba mentioned, that as we don't consider ourselves a trustee, we always carry some kind of burden. And we are suppressed under that burden, and we can't become trustee anymore. And then we become the householders. We consider ourselves to be responsible for everything. Instead, Baba says that I have come to take your all the burdens, hand over your all burdens to me, and you just stay light and follow Srimad. So this is the third thing we do, because of which we don't get the success. Now, Bab Dada feels mercy on such children. You are the master oceans and thirsty of one drop. That is, you are thirsty of a drop of the experience that you attain through yoga and knowledge. Therefore, now observe these precautions and you will constantly experience all attainments. You are the masters of the property of all the attainments. You children are also the masters, and yet you are deprived of attainments. Even the Father cannot bear to see this. So now, let go of the sanskars of 63 birds of being householders. So what work we have to do on ourselves? That leave or let go of the sanskar of 63 birds of being householders. Be trustees of your bodies and your minds. Everything is the Father's responsibility and not mine. Become light with this awareness, for only then will whatever you think happen. That is, you will take a high jump. So, this weeping and wailing will be transferred into a heart-to-heart conversation. By having this heart-to-heart conversation, you will be able to comfort souls. Otherwise, there will be sometimes be your own complaints, and sometimes there will be the complaints about the situations, and you will finish your time of the heart-to-heart conversation in this. So now transform the complaints into spirituality, because only then will you be able to experience the happiness of the confluence age. Do you understand? So a lot of things Baba is asking us to do. First thing, consider always ourselves as a trustee of our bodies and minds, and consider that everything is the Father's responsibility and not mine. And become light with this awareness. Then only Baba is saying you will be able to take a high jump. And all this weeping and wailing will be transformed into heart-to-heart conversation. So by having the heart-to-heart conversation, we will be able to comfort the souls. Otherwise, there will sometimes be our own complaints, and sometimes there will be the complaints about the situation, and we will finish our time of the heart-to-heart conversation in this. So now transfer the complaints into spirituality, because only then we will be able to experience the happiness of the confluence edge. So Baba is asking, do you understand? So, to those who constantly maintain their spirituality, to those who follow Srimad at every step, to such obedient ones who follow all the orders, to those who put every order into practical form, to those Gyani and Yogi souls who are loved by the Father, Bapdada's love, remembrance, and Namaste. So there is a personal meeting. An attitude of unlimited disinterest is the basis of world transformation. Are all of you instruments for the new world? Everyone is waiting for when the new world will come. Everyone has the thought, we should know the date when the new world is going to come. Will you know the date and time? Since you are Trikaldarshi, that is, you know all three aspects of the time, you should definitely know this. Therefore, knowing the future would be the same as knowing the present, and the basis of knowing the future would be the present. It is the Brahmin who are going to come into the new world. By knowing the present of those who are going to come in the new world, you will automatically know the date and time of the future. Since you speak of a new world, then those souls who have a right to the new world should have some newness. There should not be any old sanskars, thoughts, words, activities of the past. Nowadays, when you see one another, you say this is his old behavior. That is, this one has not yet finished his past habits or way of behaving. There should not be anything of the past in any situation. Even your thoughts should not be influenced by your old nature or sanskars. When such newness is visible in the majority, the main souls, then the date and time of the new world that is to come will clearly visible. The main souls who are the instruments will experience newness and transformation. Through their transformation, the date and world transformation will be revealed. So before world transformation takes place, there will be an attitude of disinterest in all the souls of the world. Then, through the attitude of disinterest, they will be able to accept the Father's introduction. Yes, the Father of us souls has already come. So just as the attitude of disinterest will be the basis of transformation in the souls of the world. In the same way, for souls who have become instruments, the basis of their complete transformation will be unlimited disinterest. So make effort to bring about an attitude of unlimited disinterest even in gathering. Be cooperative companion of one another. When the attitude of disinterest has emerged in you, then your old sanskars and nature will very quickly and easily merge into that attitude of disinterest. All of you think what will happen when we forget everything of the past? When people have limited disinterest, all the old sanskars of attraction easily finish. In the same way, the basis of finishing the old sanskars and the nature of the different type of attractions of the household will be the attitude of disinterest. It is through this that there will be change. So, okay. Now, prepare such grounds and create a gathering of those who have such unlimited disinterest that through their vibrations and atmosphere, these sanskars emerge in other souls too. Just as you have a gathering of serviceable souls, in the same way there should be a strong gathering of those who have unlimited disinterest, so that when others see them, those souls would receive those vibrations. On one side, there would be unlimited disinterest, and on the other side, they would be equal to Father and merged in His love. Only then would there be unlimited disinterest. They would not come down from this stage of being merged in love for even a second or with a single thought. There should be a gathering of such lovely children of the lovely Father. Baba has such a good wish for all of us that we should be remain always merged in Baba's love. That would be called a lovely gathering. On one side, there is a deep love, and on the other side, unlimited disinterest. The gathering of both should be visible as close and equal. Create such a gathering, and the date will be clearly visible. This gathering will reveal the date. Which gathering? Where all the souls are immersed in the love of Baba and they have a lot of disinterest for the old world. So Baba saying the gathering of such souls will reveal the date of. So this was Baba's today's Murli. Let's have a minute of silence. Let's churn within and then share the points. Om Shanti. Anyone would like to share?
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yeah, so wonderful, Murli. Baba says to become equal to himself. There are many points that which Baba gave, so I'll just share the one that which touched me. Baba says, we have to become equal to him. The children do check, but they are unable to change. And Baba gave a lot of reasons why they are unable to change, and the kind of precaution that we have to take. So the reason is small mistakes, and Baba very beautifully gave that medicine example. We are unable to liberate our weaknesses, and now Baba is giving us the medicine of knowledge. And although most of us follow all the 3 myths, but not taking the precaution that which Baba wants us to take. The first one that Baba says is, "You belong to me, none other. No other thing should come to you. Become an embodiment of remembrance. No other thoughts, should enter." This is the first precaution that Baba wants us to take. None but one.
Right.
Yeah, then you will enjoy this confluence age. Om Shanti. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
A very powerful Murli, sister. And the three takeaways which Baba has given us to practice is first is Mera to ek Shiv Baba, duja na koi. Means I belong to Shiv Baba, my body, my mind, my wealth, his worldly possessions, my relations, my contacts, Jan, the element, and the Sampark Sambandh. Everything belongs to Shiv Baba, duja na koi. Means
Yes.
even in our thoughts, inside, I belong to Baba. So that constant awareness. And second is, I'm a master, not a slave, not even a warrior or a yodha. So that is the constant elevated stage of a master who knows everything. What else to be known? When I know the beginning, middle, and the end of the drama, then I'm a master, I'm a hero actor. And third is, I'm a trustee. Trustee is, I'm deep inside my intellect, nothing is mine. So that everything is of highest on high, my master. So I am master of my own subjects, and then I am, my master is the highest on high, from whom I am learning. I am receiving the all the knowledge and the Srimad, and that is what is my constitution. So these three takeaways, and of course, in the later part of the Murli, attitude of unlimited disinterest, yet deeply loving, yet loving. So that is a very good takeaway. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother. Anyone else?
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
It's such a action, Murli, telling us the caution. Why we have less attention, why there is tension. As usual, Baba hits us first with so many questions. This title which Baba always gives us is one of the most important thing needed for myself, or even in doing service, that I am Master, Almighty Authority. When I go outside and speak of the knowledge, I should make them feel, yes, the person who's coming to me and telling me something is the one of authority. Otherwise, nobody is going to tell me. Like even when Baba spoke in yesterday's Murli about why the authority, especially the ruling authority, why the tree has decayed, why it has failed. So very clearly we could see the qualities over here. As I've already shared in the chat box, I should first check myself before preaching. I should see how far I've reached out to myself. Am I still in a maze? Am I really following the disciplines, not just knowing them, not just understanding them, but following them? It is so important कि एक जो मर्यादा है, am I rightfully doing it? Or am I just doing it to write in the book, okay, I have done. I think that was the checking point is what is important over here. And as just 3 points, I belong to one. I am master creator. which is what I think sometimes we forget. We still think ourselves as creation, this body. This is where Maya comes and attacks us. And third, of course, that I'm a trustee of everything, everything. So that even means I'm a guest. करने वाला करा रहा है, करावनहार वो ऊपर है. This is the crux of the first Murli, and there's a lot of checking point Baba has given, which I would really like to take up.
Thank you, Girijaban. Wonderful. Any other point? Anyone else would like to share?
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Today Baba said that give up all your responsibilities to me and just become a trustee. When you become a trustee, then you become light and then you can take a high jump. Om Shanti.
Good. Thank you, Bhativan. So Baba is asking us not to become donkey. Don't carry burdens. I am there to take your burdens, and we have to just give our burdens to him and become light. Yes.
This is the first time I am hearing the long time, I think, Baba referring the burden as donkey. I just suddenly just said, what is this, Baba? Well, that when Baba said that, just like a child, I said, Baba, what donkey? But just see the analogy which Baba, I was just thinking about stories which we hear when we are young about these donkeys. I was sharing it, I thought, oh my God, donkey.
Yeah.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Today, Baba wants us to be perfect. Baba wants us to enjoy to the fullest extent the happiness of confluence age. Baba wants us that these children, which are Ovanhar Devi Devatas, if they will not be fulfilled of all the happiness, if they will not have all the inputs from me and not become equal to Baba, then how will they be able to overcome all the complaints of the bhaktas and all that? To what I realize that Baba by that tries to emphasize that also. Due to that only Baba is in today's Murli is telling that you have to have some precautions, because what the children we do take medicines, we do take inputs, but with some precautions. We are not taking the precautions to the fullest extent. And due to that only, even if the effort is very nice, but as because the precautions are not there, and what happens, and due to that only the attention becomes tension. To what Baba very clearly and very interestingly explained. If you can see the word attention, the first letter A, lack of awareness. When the awareness decreases, and A, when the attitude changes. Baba said that when the awareness increases, you are transformed. You become, when you are transformed and tension starts there. But when your attitude changes, what Baba says, when you are full of negativity in body conscious, in the negative sense, but when you change your attitude, and it is said that when a person's attitude changes, he changes completely. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother.
One thing I would like to add, one more thing.
Yeah.
Today told that the children become donkey. Why they're becoming donkey? Why? Because we children, what we, and compare to donkey, what, because Baba says, when the children hear Murli, they are well decorated, no? They are well decorated, well adorned, and Nasha is there to the fullest extent. But when they just come out in this world, come in contact with this worldly affairs, they again become body conscious, just like the donkeys do. They are washed and they cover themselves with the mud and the dust. So Baba has compared us to the donkey. Baba says we are not donkeys. If you can sustain in this specific state of mind, as we are hearing Murli, that's what is required. What Baba says. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sanjay. Very wonderful.
Sister, in the
Number-
second Murli,
Yes.
I like the second Murli which is said. You know why? I think in the Sunday Murli, Baba gave Mama a title, Goddess of Maturity. You know, I just loved it. So many titles I've received of Mama Saraswati. I liked that. And why Baba said she doesn't think, she just thinks about the future. And that kind of unlimited disinterest which he had in her, he took her Mama a step ahead of Brahma Baba. So even though Baba says you should be a Trikaldarshi, see the past, present, future, today's personal meeting which you read, it looked more like I should only think of the future which will change my present. I should not think of the past, my old samskar or sab nahi dekhna hai. Itne vairagya mein jana hai. So I found that quality which you need over here is maturity. Suddenly I just remembered the Sunday Murli where the goddess of maturity was Mama. I just wanted to share that. The second Murli.
Yeah. Thank you, sister.
Om Shanti. Just to add to that, while the sister was just speaking, I was just churning, and she was telling the maturity, goddess of maturity, and all that. Then how Mama could reach that state? By the word maturity, we can understand. Am will stands for Man Manava Madhya Jivi. A will be for adorned with divine virtues, and T is for self-transformation. Then self-transformation takes place. U will be for upliftment of the soul, and R will be responsible. Then I will be inward journey, and this T will for the world transformation. And when the world transformation changes, why? अब प्रसन्न चित्त नहीं होना है, प्रसन्न चित्त होना है. And this what Purusharth which Mama did and became Mama. Om Shanti.
Okay, good churnings. Anyone else would like to add?
Om Shanti.
Om
The
Shanti.
Baba has today also spoken about the heart-to-heart conversation. Heart conversation with Baba. I like this point. I think we can have more churning on, and it comes out very. And Sakar Murli is how Brahma Baba speaks to Shiv Baba, and what an interesting conversation it happens. You know, Brahma Baba praises Shiv Baba in every way and every moment of the Murli, and then Shiv Baba, how does he respond? So to Brahma Baba's churnings, I think that's the another takeaway, heart-to-heart conversation with Shiv Baba from today's Murli.
Yes. Thank you. Bye. So let's have a meditation. Or anyone else would like to add anything? Okay, so let's stay straight and relax. Let's become aware of our true identity. I'm a beautiful point of light, child of Almighty Authority. I am Baba's obedient child. following his all orders. Taking myself at such a level and realizing that I belong to only one Father and none other. Everything belongs to Baba. Whole world cannot attract me anymore. Even I surrender my thoughts to Baba, my words, my actions. Also, I'm realizing that I'm a master creator. Body is my creation. I am the ruler and the controller of everything in my own world. I cannot become slave anymore of anything. I master Almighty authority, ruling my senses, controlling my senses, and channelizing my whole energy to only one Baba. Also receiving the most elevated energy from Baba and using them in my actions. The third realization which I am having, that I am a trustee, not a householder. I'm not getting pulled by any attractions, any bondages. Nothing is mine other than Baba. I'm a trustee. I'm not responsible for anything. I have to just obey my Baba's Srimad and giving up my all things to Baba, all responsibilities, all burdens, and experiencing lightness. I'm not doing anything. It's Baba who is using me. He's Karan Karavanhar. I don't need to worry about anything. He's taking care of me. I'm relaxed. I have to just stay elevated. I'm feeling complete disinterest for this old world, for my old sanskars. I'm focusing my energy to the new world and to new sanskars which Baba is asking me to imbibe. So there is an unlimited disinterest in my mind. At the same time, There is an unlimited love for Baba, the one who is offering me all the happiness on this confluence age. He is the only source of true happiness. Following his Srimad accurately is becoming worthy of the happiness. My life is full of lightness and happiness and love for Baba. I am a double light angel, master ocean of love, spreading the vibrations of pure love to the whole world's souls, becoming an instrument to connect these thirsty souls to the ocean of love, Baba. Shukriya, Baba. Shukriya for making me this instrument. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Shitulben. Thank you, Divine Family. Have a wonderful day, and we meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Thanks to all of you and have a beautiful day with Baba.